Welcome to another JavaEE tutorial. In this lesson, we're going to move on to actually passing a little bit of data into our REST API. To do that, we're going to use something called a QueryParam. Now, a QueryParam is something that you've probably seen many times before. So I'm going to start by giving an example just so that you can see it. Google.com. Okay. Let's say we were to do a search for Java. Pretty basic, right? Now, you'll notice we've changed URLs to the search URL, and then we have a series of query params, starting with a question mark. They're a series of key value pairs separated by an ampersand. Now, there's a lot of stuff that Google includes that we actually really don't care about. So I'm going to get rid of those pieces of the URL so you can see what's actually relevant to a Google search URL. And that's actually just the query param Q for query. You can see if we add the word tutorial, our search becomes Java tutorial instead of just tutorial. So this is an example of a query param. You see these a lot on search engines for other things like filters. So let's see if Google uses this. Oh, look. Let me see. Tabs. And I'm assuming that one of these is being used to say how long ago that we were trying to search. But since I can't find it readily available, it's probably in some sort of code or something else like that.
Good. Twice the pride, double the fall.
Now keep in mind, query parameters can really be anything that you want, and since we're building our own server, we can put whatever name we want to them. So let's start with our say hello method. Instead of saying hello world, let's change our method to say hello, and let's let it accept a string, the name of the person we're saying hello to. So let's add the person's name. Now we want to be able to use our URL like this. Hello Jack. As it stands now, without changing our code and adding the use of a query param, it only knows how to return hello world. So in order to use a query param in Jax-RS, you need to put an annotation before the method parameter at query param name. So what is this string here? This is the name of the query param. Now it's going to be a little confusing since we just used the variable name as well, but I'm going to go through a few examples to clear up what's going on there. So first thing to do is to kill and restart your server. Okay, now let's go to our browser and let's run hello passing in the query parameter name. Hello Jack. So we got hello Jack. Now let's put Steve. So we get hello Steve. You can see how nicely this works. Okay. What if we don't want to write out name every time that we're using this query parameter in the browser? Let's just say N, because we'll just have N be short for name. Kill and restart your server. And now, instead of responding to name, which you'll notice ends up being null, it now responds to the parameter N. Steve, or Tony, both of these work. So the reason I did this illustration is to show you that Jax-RS doesn't magically read your code and say, ooh, the variable name is this, so I'm going to match it to the query parameter. All it does is look at the string that you put in here, and then it sets the parameter that it's annotating to the value provided by that query parameter. Now you'll notice if I run this without providing a query parameter, the value here is null. So let's say I want to keep someone from running this code and getting this string when they give me a null. So I'm going to put a regular old check. So if they don't provide it or they use the wrong name, I'm going to do if name equals null, return, sorry, I don't say hello to nulls. Now, kill and restart your server. Now let's run this without providing a query parameter. What do we get? Our null check ran, evaluated to true, and said, sorry, I don't say hello to nulls. Now let's give it the wrong query parameter. Name equals Tony. Same thing. Now let's use the proper n parameter. Hello, Thor, is the response I got when I set n to Thor. Alright, that's pretty nifty. Let's say we wanted to add another query parameter. What would we do? Well, easy. Since URLs can have multiple query parameters, let's just create one here. Let's add a query param for age. We're just going to call it A, and it's going to be an integer. You'll notice I didn't have to create a string query param and then convert it to an integer. As long as it's converting the query param to a primitive type, Jax-RS will do this for you automatically. So you actually don't need to give it any more information other than the name of the query parameter and then a primitive type variable right after it, and it will know exactly what to do in order to convert whatever message the server receives into that. So, hello, name, you must be age, years old. Now let's kill, restart our server using maven clean Wildfly-Swarm : run, as in all previous tutorials. Alright. Thor, age 19. Hello, Thor. You must be 0 years old. Well, why did it put 0? I said age 19. Well, I didn't name my parameter age. I named it A. So I need to go back to the browser. Hello, Evan. You must be 19 years old. Alright, that works as expected. So now I've given you the basics of how query params work and how you can use them in a simple REST API. Next time we're going to get into a few more specifics of what you can do with query params, and we're actually going to build a simple API that does calculations. Alright, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.